G'day, Jamie here, Chaplain of Holy Hermits Online and Associate Priest at St John's Cathedral in Brisbane, Australia. And in this short video, I would love to give you a little bit of insight as to who we are at Holy Hermits Online and what we are about as a 100% digital missional community. So I'm going to use our website as a tool to do this. This is holyhermits.com.au. I also commend the website to you to spend some more time on to get to know us better. We have a lot about us at the About page. We'll just nip over there quickly. So you can see a little bit of our story, how we got started with a local parish in Brisbane, St John's Bulimba, then how we found our home at St John's Cathedral in Brisbane City in 2021, and what we've been up to since then. Who is this online church for? It could be for anyone. We have members gathering from around Australia as well as internationally, people who, for whatever reason, cannot or will not be part of a traditional expression of church. So coming online with us is their opportunity not just to access faith resources, but also to engage with other Christians and to do Christian living together. So there's a whole bunch of people this might work for. You can spend some time reading through this to see if that might be you. And what makes our mission and ministry special is the way that we try and enable our members, as well as those who are signed up, to live out their Christian baptism or to seek in faith so that they might discern how God is calling them to act in the world and to share God's love with others. So we do this in the way that we interact with one another in worship services. We have once a week a regular weekly worship that we come together for on a Sunday morning in Brisbane time. A different time for some of our people, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a Saturday evening for them. But weekly worship is generally an hour that we spend with a liturgy that could be quite familiar for many who have been to an Anglican or Episcopal church service elsewhere. We have generally the same structure, all these elements that are part of an ante-communion or prayer and praise worship service. We have music. And what is most exciting about our weekly worship space, and I'm most proud of, is that in the last 4 years we've built up our lay leadership, our volunteers, so that they can facilitate and lead in our worship space. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit here. You can see these are some of our roles that we have available for our people to get involved with. So you have your usual things like a reader that you would have in a normal church worship service, someone who reads the lessons for the day. But we also have a particular way of doing things so that we have need of tech people. So broadcasting, sharing the screen for our liturgy so that everyone can engage with it. As well as our cantor, who offers the responses of everybody out loud unmuted, because using technology, and particularly Zoom, which is our number one platform, we discovered that it's impossible to have everyone unmuted offering the responses. It's just a cacophony of sound. So that's one of the things that's quite unique to us. 15 minutes prior to worship beginning, we have our welcomer opening the space and helping people to feel comfortable as they arrive. In our after space, we have our fellowship leaders who are helping us to reflect on what's happened during worship and to maybe share a little bit of life together in conversation. Coming along to worship is definitely a different experience for everybody depending on where they're joining from. They could be joining from bed, from hospital, from their home office, from out and about at the beach or at the park, on the road, you know. The world is our oyster as long as you have a digital connection, access to internet, and a device like a phone or a tablet or a computer so that you can join in. Coming with video feed on or off is totally optional, as is sharing of voices. So some people do come and just dwell in our space, maybe using the chat function to drop in a message to us every now and again, as well as those who choose to be really involved, and that's awesome. So we also have monthly contemplative prayer services. These services are engaging in silence and often reflecting on one of the lives of the Holy Hermits. We've been particularly inspired by their legacy, not just to name ourselves, but to remember them through the year at weekly worship and in our monthly contemplative spaces, which are generally on a Sunday evening, though the time can move around a little bit. So you can see we are excited to be anticipating Prayer for Creation with Mother Hildegard next month, and in the month after that, the Franciscan Contemplative Service inspired by St. Francis of Assisi. Plenty of other hermits have inspired past services that you can catch up on, and people can make use of our liturgies to take themselves through a time of reflection or contemplation whenever it might suit them. So here's a great resource library. If I go back to the ministries page, you might have already spotted that we have a fantastic interpretation of Michelangelo's Reaching for God, with a little kitten reaching for a person's finger. This is our companion animal ministry image. I'm going to hop in there and just celebrate this. This is one of the unique things that makes us who we are at Holy Hermits Online. Coming along to church wherever you happen to be, often we have found that our people are joining with their animals beside them. And so very quickly we established companion animal ministry was something on our hearts that we would like to continue to build, and we have done that in the last couple of years. So we've got a mission statement, we've got resources we've already made, and we are currently making some. So we're working on prayer for sick animals at the moment, which we're looking forward to offering both as a digital service but also in a hybrid service with the cathedral at some stage soon. So watch this space. I'm going to pop back to that ministries page. There's some more things I'd love to highlight for you. I already mentioned our Holy Hermit Remembrance. This is a great place to go and learn more about the people who inspired our name. People from our Christian history who have lived both in solitude, spending time away from community life in relationship with God, and often quite a contemplative lifestyle, but also they often founded monasteries or rules for living and were very influential for others who were seeking God. So we remember them through the year, try and highlight their teachings and get a sense of how they can inspire us to likewise spend time with God apart as well as come together with others. Our Reader project is one of our more recent projects that has sprung up in our midst, inviting people to choose their favourite psalm from the Psalms and give voice to that in a recording that we then set to a slideshow with the words and put on YouTube as an outreach opportunity. And already at least one person has found our community through one of those psalm videos. So it's great to see that that is already bringing new people into our community. Our digital faith artist ministry is one that's very exciting and is very new too. So using artificial intelligence, AI, we are creating one-of-a-kind digital artworks inspired by scripture or by spiritual living, prayer life, whatever. We are creating these beautiful images that we make use of in our spaces and people then are sharing and reflecting on. So that's one of the ways that we're using AI for the good. As with any tools, AI is always a bit of an interesting topic for conversation and one that we're very engaged in as well. So another of our weekly ministries is our seasonal study programs. Throughout the year of a Wednesday evening, Brisbane time, we'll find a group of people coming together, going deeper with theology, with scripture, and with one another. And it's wonderful to see how we have grown in that space. We've been going deep with the big faith questions of recent, so that's been great. Another of our ministries is a 3D dialogue. So that is a quarterly gathering of a Sunday evening that happens once every 3 months. And we have had the theme of silence for 2024, very appropriate for a contemplative community. So 2 of our lay leaders are facilitating in that space, offering stimulus. We've had books to engage with. Soon we'll be engaging with podcasts and articles and other sorts of things to get conversation going, and it's a very rich and engaging space. Our prayer group is a group of people that use our Holy Hermits Online app. That's right, we have an app that you can get on your phone, and our app has a prayer wall where people can post prayer requests or share prayers so that we can do prayer life together. There's a little button that can be pressed to indicate how many people are praying. So after a prayer, it might say 9 people are praying this prayer. So it's a great encouragement to know that we're doing that together. We also have online retreats and spiritual direction that happen occasionally through the year, often themed to what's going on in the church seasons, but also just inspired by whatever is speaking to our spiritual directors and leaders. So online retreats can be days, they can be in the nighttime. Yeah, it's really a moving feast, but it's a wonderful blessing for us to have one of our spiritual directors offer spiritual direction online, as well as pastoral care being available online, whether that be through Zoom or over the phone or by other means. Bereavement and Remembrance Ministry, when one of our members goes ahead of us to God and is being mourned, we as a community will often have special prayers in our weekly worship, but also we're able to facilitate an online space for family and friends to gather, to be together, sort of like a living wake, particularly if there are those who can't be physically present, if they're geographically dispersed. This is one of the things that we love to offer. Lastly, open space. We try and make our space collaborative so that people can bring their ideas and we can run with them. And some great experimental ministries have happened over the years because of our open spaces, where people can come together and wonder about what God is putting on their hearts to explore using technology and together in our space. So I hope that has given you a little overview. There's so much more I could say. I could talk about Holy Hermits Online all day, but I hope you spend some more time with the website. I'm just going to quickly pop over to the sign up page to show you next steps. If you're not already part of our community and you'd like to be, then this is the place to go. So we don't have our links to join our spaces just on our website because we do have such a big international presence online. So there is that next step needed if you would like to engage with us. So to get our Friday and Sunday emails to your inbox, you just need to give us your name and your email address at the bottom of this page. So if I scroll down a little bit, there we go, that's the sign up section. So that's if you just want to give us those details. Another option is to go to the membership form, and that will give us the next steps. It'll ask you, what sort of experience have you got with church? What are your spiritual gifts that you might like to share? As well as if you have any companion animals that you'll be bringing along with you to worship. So, questions and answers, there's so much more information here. I hope to keep the dialogue open. Please make contact if you have any questions. Always open to having a conversation. Hope that helps. Bye!